Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Isaac Newton Institute podcast. My name's Dan Aspel, I'm the communications manager here, and today I'm joined by Dr Anastasia Kisil.
Hello.
So the reason we're speaking to Anastasia, and it's a pleasure to have you here, is that you are the one of the co-organisers of a programme which is starting today on the 5th of August in 2019. And it is called, and I've got this written down in front of me so that I can remember it entirely, it's Bringing Pure and Applied Analysis Together via the Wiener-Hopf technique, its generalisations and applications. Now, can you explain to me what that means, Anastasia?
Yes, it's a very exciting way of bringing people from different backgrounds to talk about the same object. There's a lot of different papers which have the Wiener-Hopf in the title, but these people tend to know that another community exists, but haven't actually discussed it in an environment such as at the Newton Institute. So their idea is that we bring people from the pure as applied analysis, stochastics, numerical analysis, and we all interact, and hopefully the different viewpoints of this technique will come out from that. Okay,
well, I've leapt right in there with speaking about the programme because it's a very exciting thing and to be beginning here in August. But if we rewind a little bit, let's just have a little introduction to yourself, if that's all right. So you're part of the University of Cambridge. So tell me a little bit about your role here.
Yes, so I'm a Sultan Qaboos Research Fellow at Corpus Christi College. So it's a postdoc position, which I was fortunate enough to have for the last 3 and a bit of years. I have been in Cambridge for a while, so I did my undergraduate at Trinity and my PhD there as well. And then so I had a massive move from Trinity to Corpus since then. I've been in Cambridge for the last 13 years and enjoyed it tremendously.
And I'm making a judgment based purely on your appearance, but you're younger than a lot of mathematicians that we see here. So it's interesting that someone who's relatively not early. I mean, you're not an early career researcher, I presume.
I'm a postdoc at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's interesting that you're co-organising a program here. I mean, it's quite rare for someone who isn't in the midway or later stage of their career to be organising a programme at the Newton Institute.
Yes, I'm very fortunate. This is the first big event I'm organising, and I hope that my enthusiasm for it would make up for the lack of experience in organising events such like this. But it's very exciting because there's a lot of aspects of organising events which you don't think about until you actually start dealing with it.
Yeah, and I imagine in the case of a programme here, a lot of that is the people who are going to be invited, the programme participants who'll be taking part and enjoying this research with you. Is that one of the main challenges, would you say?
I think I was fortunate enough that the Newton Institute took over all the practical aspects
of
organising.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward. It was always my dream to, from my background, which was rather pure, and then going to more applied stuff, to join those areas together and get different mathematicians from different backgrounds sharing their passion.
And coming up with a list of those names of the people who might want to take part.
Yes, that's why when I was deciding to organise this, I decided to pick people from different backgrounds to be on the co-organising committee, so that we could together come up with a list of people who have the right expertise and that there's some personal connections. It's easier to invite people when you can say, hello, I know you do want to come, and we're going to have some good time doing maths together.
And you mentioned personal connections there. I mean, one interesting aspect of this programme in particular is that it's also the area of the current director, Professor David Abrahams. And I know that you've worked with him before, haven't you, Anastasia?
Yes, that's right. The first paper I was given as a PhD student was David's paper to read. So a lot of my PhD was reading his papers and looking at what can be done with those type of problems. So I'm very excited that I can organize this program here and build on the work that I have done and other people have done in the recent years, and look at some current challenges which are out there.
And it's an exciting position to be in, and perhaps different to others, because the general makeup of a participant, for example, of the rates at our institution, are that a third will be from the UK, a third will be from Europe, and a third will be from the rest of the world. Obviously, that often includes the occasional participant from Cambridge itself.
Yes.
So Cambridge is your current home. It's where you've studied most of your academic life. How do you feel organising a programme in your own backyard, so to speak?
Well, I think it's much easier because you know what you're dealing with. And Cambridge has a very strong expertise in the Wiener-Hopf. There's a lot of community here already, which makes some of the logistics easier. And
okay, so now that we've sort of covered the setup of the programme, tell me a little bit more about the Wiener-Hopf technique. As I mentioned on most of these podcasts, I'm not a mathematician, so I'm really fascinated to know what it is about the Wiener-Hopf technique that makes you want to study it, what its origin is, perhaps, if you can go into a little detail there, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I think what's exciting in the Wiener-Hopf technique, if you ask this question to different mathematicians, you would get an entirely different answer, depending on what side of it you use. Someone might just think of it as a complex analysis tool, which allows you to solve certain partial differential equations with complicated boundary conditions. Some people think of it as a method of looking at various properties of operators, and other people will only be looking at it from the point of view of stochastics.
So what does the future hold for the Wiener-Hopf technique?
It's very exciting because there are many open problems which we can now solve because of the new computational techniques which are out there. Some of the methods which were initially proposed as a simply we couldn't in theory do that. We can now make them happen. And a lot of approaches which were previously unable to implement are now very much implementable. And it's a time where we can bring the community together and look forward to many material challenges we can have. For example, in multi-scale problems, you have many transitions between the boundary conditions. That's something which traditionally wasn't solved using Wiener-Hopf technique due to the computational complexities. But now we can look into those areas in more detail.
In a dream situation, once this programme's concluded and a number of collaborations have been set up and papers are either being written or have been written, what would the outcomes be? How many different fields of mathematics would be picking up on what kind of work's been done here? How broad and how great would the impact be of everything that you've done?
I think this is a month-long program, so we have to be realistic as well as optimistic. And the aim of this program is really to clearly map the directions that this method can take. And then it will be in the case of the consecutive years to come where this clear map will manifest itself into great improvements in various areas.
And is there anyone in particular or any group of people in particular that you're looking forward to collaborating with here? Because as anyone that's listened to this podcast before or visited the Newton Institute will know, that's really the most important thing about what happens here. It's getting together people from all over the country and world who may not have met in person before and who have shared specialisms, and they can sit down and work together intensely for an uninterrupted period of time. So I've rambled, but is there anyone in particular that you're looking forward to working with?
Well, I'm lucky enough because I'm the organizer, so I've picked people, all the people I've picked are people that I'm very much interested in working with. And it's a case of we'll have to live and see which directions will be the most productive out of there. But there's just so many different possibilities for collaborations and for interdisciplinary research in this program that is very exciting.
Excellent. So it's been a real pleasure speaking to you, and I look forward to seeing how the program develops.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much.